I'm Anna Wilson. I'm a sophomore. So I grew up in the church. My parents both worked with Crew, so I automatically was introduced to like who Jesus was, who God was, and I technically accepted Christ at 5 years old, but I would not say that that's where my journey began. Obviously, I was 5 years old, didn't really understand much about it. And growing up, just always like in the church and going to all these Crew events, my dad kind of being like, I idolized him for like being so knowledgeable of like God and his relationship with God. That like kind of made me not be able to like create my own faith, create my own path in what I wanted to do and who I wanted to believe and my relationship with God. So growing up, I kind of just, piggybacked off of my parents' faith and it's like, oh yeah, I believe in God. And then I would say around middle school and high school, I kind of just didn't really care that much. I would like tell my parents, oh yeah, I read my Bible all the time, but I really didn't. And I would walk around like, oh, I'm like, my parents, like they're from Crew, they're awesome. And I would like have that weight on me, but I wouldn't reflect it in what I would do. In high school, I was really into worldly things. I would hang out with the cool kids, just care about my image, care about what other people thought of me. I didn't care about like my relationship with Christ. I didn't really have one. I knew that God was real, but that really was it for me. And seeing all my other siblings, I'm one of 6, seeing all of them like seemingly be perfect, like also had an effect on what I did. And I was just like, I want to be different. I don't want to be confined to like having this perfect relationship with God. Getting into things like that probably my parents knew they would not approve of. And that also made me kind of resentful because I was like, all these other kids can do whatever they want. But since my parents are like involved with a Christian ministry, I can't do anything, or they're so strict on me, they won't let me be a teenager. Towards the end, my senior year, my brother, Luke, was actually having a Bible study. He's 2 years older than me, but he took a semester off, so he was having a Bible study. And he invited me, and his message was like lukewarm Christianity. And he kind of explained what that meant, and I was like, that sounds like me. Like, I know God's real, but I don't really care to have a relationship with him. I don't want to put in any of the work to know him. And then like he just explained that like God can deny you like into heaven if he doesn't know you. And you just go around acting like you're a Christian, but you really don't care. And so that really hit, and I was like, that's literally me. Like, I don't know God. Like, I say I do, but I don't. And so that's kind of what sparked my interest in like, maybe I should like figure out my own faith and figure out what I believe. And so then freshman year of college, towards the beginning of the year, went to some Crew stuff, super involved in it. I remember driving home back to my hometown and just putting on worship music, which is something I normally wouldn't have chosen to put on. I would choose like, Khalid or some secular music. And so I was like, okay, I'll put on worship music and worship for a little. But this is a point where I still haven't like fully surrendered. And then I saw a cross, like a huge light up cross on my way driving home. And the song, Oh Come to the Altar came on, and it was like literally the beat drop is when I saw the cross. And that I just like felt an overwhelming sense of like the Holy Spirit, and it was just like surrender yourself to me. And so I would say that was the day that I truly was just like, I want to live my life for Christ. And so that's when I put my faith in the Lord fully, and like began a relationship with him. Fall retreat with Crew was also another point where I just kind of strengthened that, and all the Crew people, all the students in Crew were super helpful in like me figuring out what my own faith for myself. And ever since then, I have been super involved. My relationship with the Lord has been awesome. I went on a missions trip this summer to Ocean City, and that was like a really big turning point for me too, because it just showed me like that all like what I was doing is just so real, and like that the Lord is so real. So Jesus is love and forgiveness. I could go on and on for hours, but I think a good way to sum it up is he's just love. Like he's everything that you need, and with him you just, you know, you can lean on him and he's peace. I would say if you're scared, do it anyways, because like fully just jump into the idea that you could have a relationship with Jesus, because benefits and the rewards of doing it is so much greater than if you just didn't do it at all. I also say that the community, like Christian community, is something that like is so strong, and you won't find a community like that anywhere else. And then I also say that it just makes life so much better, like having the Lord and having a relationship with him, because it kind of takes the worry off. It takes a lot more of the pain off when you know like that the Lord always has your back and that you have an everlasting life with him in heaven. So I say Anna before Christ was just seeking worldly approval and living for the world and not really just being self-absorbed. And then the Anna, when finding Christ, was definitely like curious and open, but still a little bit like holding back, because like I didn't want to fully like give away the things that I was doing. And then the Anna after Christ was set free, able to live for like the Lord and other people more than herself, and just filled with love and able to love others better.